Hiya! This is supposed to be girl bye, by the way, but anyway, let's go on. I've decided I'm going to participate in Kayla's BooksAndLala's challenge, the buzzword reading challenge that goes throughout the whole year of 2021. So each month we're gonna have a word, and we're gonna have to find a book with that word or a term related to that word in the title of a book to put in our TBRs. Let's start. So for January, the prompt was a book with dream in the title, the word dream. And for that, I decided I was going to reread Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night Dream. So I have this copy in Portuguese, and I have still yet to read it. January is not done yet, so this is going in my TBR pile for January. In February, we have colors, so we can either have the word color in the title or a color in the title. And for that, I picked Anne of Green Gables. I should know the author. Lucy Maud Montgomery. I've been meaning to read this for a very long time, and this is just seems like the perfect opportunity, so this is for February. The prompt for March is a time-related word, so it doesn't have to be the word time, although it can, but it can be a time in a day, so like midnight, night, afternoon, morning. And I have just purchased this book that I'm really interested in called Night Film, and it's one of those thrillers that are supposed to really capture you, and it's really engrossing, and it's by Marisha Pessl. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. And it's about a woman who commits suicide, and this woman comes from a movie Hollywood dynasty, and there's this investigative reporter that looks into the suicide and suspects otherwise, and he investigates. So he goes to interview her father, and who's like a director, a movie director. And this is one of those books that it's not just text, you have pictures in it, and like screenshots of videos and websites and interviews and stuff like that, which I find makes the reading go faster, and it's really interesting. So Night Film in March TBR. For April, we're gonna have to have a space related word, and I immediately thought of sky, and so happens that there's this book I want to read called Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and I've been meaning to read Brandon Sanderson for like 6 months, I think. I was going to start with the Mistborn trilogy, but I don't have all the 3 books yet, so I don't want to start and then have to wait for the second one to arrive, and you know. So I'm going to read Skyward, which, if I'm not mistaken, is his first YA novel that he wrote. So apparently I'm gonna start easy with Brandon Sanderson. Oh, and it's about a world where people live underground, and this girl, Spencer is her name, she dreams of being a pilot, I think. Yes. And her father was like, he was killed because he deserted his team years ago, and she yearns to be a pilot just like him, but they live underground, and that's all that I know so far, and that's all that I want to know going into this. So in May we have to have a book with the word house or home in the title, and for that I have two options. One of them is House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. I am pretty sure this is like a thriller horror YA about 12 sisters who die in suspicious circumstances. Like they are dying one by one, they are dying, and this book is in the perspective of one of the sisters, and I don't know, maybe she's gonna figure out what's gonna happen, maybe she's gonna die, we're gonna see. The other book that I have for this prompt that I may pick up instead of A House of Salt and Sorrows is TJ Klune's The House in the Cerulean Sea, which is like a totally different concept. It's described as a middle grade adult book. It's about an orphanage of children with really special powers and really powerful abilities that can somehow destroy the world. So they get this guy to like go inspect this orphanage and see everything that's going on and if everything is up to code, and he meets the children of the orphanage and also the man who like runs the orphanage, and I think it's like a queer romance, and it's supposed to be like really cutesy and heartwarming. So it's like the opposite of A House of Salt and Sorrows. So we're gonna see which one I'm in the mood for when May arrives. For June, the prompt is to have a name or a title in the title of the book. So the name of a person, or the title like king, queen, duke, whatever. And I've already read the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which was the one I was thinking about. So I remembered this book that I bought, and I remember as soon as I bought that book, I was like, I'm gonna read this now because I'm so interested. I don't remember much of what it is about, but I remember I was really excited when I bought it, and then I forgot about it, which is The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. I don't want to know what this book is about. I just read a little bit here, and it says that it's a heartbreaking novel. It's a dark and heartbreaking novel, and that's all that I need to know. For July, our prompt is to have the word last on the title of the book. So I'm gonna have to wait until July to read the installment of Avatar: The Last Airbender Imbalance. And these are series of comic books continuing the Avatar: The Last Airbender saga after the TV series ended, and I think this one is like the 5th volume, and I buy these that are like a story divided in 3. So this one is the first. I have the 2 others stashed away there, and so in July, I plan to read this and the other 2 books that are in the Imbalance trilogy. For August, we have to pick a book with a time of the day in the title. So I was thinking, like, again, night, morning, dusk, whatever counts. So I found one that had two actual times of day, and that is Good Morning Midnight by Jean Rhys. I am pretty sure that's not how you pronounce her name, or maybe it is, I don't know. But it's a really short book, and I've been meaning to read it for a long while now too. And I think this challenge is awesome because you actually dig into your TBR and find books that you completely forgot about and bring them to light again. Oh, and this book, it's about women dealing with self-isolation and loneliness, and I relate. For September, we have to have the word dark in the title of the book, and for that I actually have some options. So there's 3 Dark Crowns by Kendra Blake, which is a book about 3 sisters. They're princesses, and each one has a different special power, and they have to fight it out to see which one of the 3 sisters is gonna become the queen. That's all that I know so far. That's all that I want to know so far. I don't know if you know this already, but I like to go into books without knowing much about it. The other book is A Darker Shade of Magic. Without even knowing much or at all what this book is about, I bought the whole trilogy already, and I think it's about different Londons that you can travel through. Like, there's a red London, a black London, a gray London, and a white London. I might be mistaken, but that's all that I know so far. And something about Astravars. So it's about travelers going like into these different dimensions of London. Don't know much about it again. Also, for this prompt, I can use The Devil and the Dark Water by Stuart Turton, which is a thriller set in the high seas in like the 17th century, if I'm not mistaken. And a murder occurs on the boat they're in, and there's these 2 detectives that are like, I always forget, fairy lights. There's these 2 detectives that are like hell-bent on solving the murders, but there's also like this eerie thing, like this devil roaming the ship. So as with the other book by Stuart Turton, which was The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, it mixes thriller with paranormal, and I found that I really liked her other book, so as soon as this one came out, I got it. For October, we're gonna have to have an element in the title of the book, or something related to an element. So fire, air, earth, water, and Avatar. I searched for all those words on my Goodreads and my shelves, and I thought that wind is related to air, so I'm gonna pick The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, which is another book that I'm like have high anticipation for, and I've been dreading to read it because of it. Highly anticipated books for me. I always have this great fear of them letting me down, so I guess that's why I haven't picked it up since now. Or not now, it's gonna be in October, but at least now it has a date. For November, which is my birthday month, we have the word lost in the prompt. So the book title has to have the word lost, and for that I kinda cheated a little bit. Not cheated, I don't think it's cheating, because lost is in the title of the series. So there's this artist called Merwild. I'm gonna put her like actual name here. She makes the most stunning illustrations of YA book characters. Like, her Throne of Glass illustrations are to die for, and I've always followed her on Instagram, and she announced that she's gonna release her own book, and I was really excited for it. She's gonna release this book that she wrote and with her own illustrations, and I'm really pumped for it. It's called The Nishan Smile. I still don't know for sure. And the series is called the Lost Faces series. So there you go. And finally, for December, we need to have a month, a day, or a season. Yes, in the title of the book. And I thought really hard about this because for me it's a really big commitment, because the books are like Bibles. Outlander. I've read the first 3 books of Outlander, but it was a relatively long time ago, and I don't know if much of it's still in my memory. So what I figured is I'm gonna, luckily enough, there's the TV series on Netflix, so I'm gonna watch the TV series to get like caught up with it. I think the 3 first seasons are the 3 first books, so I'm gonna watch that, and then I'm gonna go to the 4th book in the series, which is called The Drums of Autumn, and by Diana Gabaldon, and it's a chunker. It's like, you think it's not, but the pages are like papyrus. You can see through them. How can she write so much? I don't understand. But anyway, so for December, I'm gonna have Drums of Autumn in my TBR list, so that gives me the whole year to get caught up on Outlander. And that is it, basically. That's my TBR for the Buzzword Reading Challenge set by Kayla at BooksAndLala. And I hope you have a great day, an awesome week, and bye bye.